up? It's Joe with OCDetailing, and today we have a first. You know, we've worked on a ton of Model Ys. They've been cranking these things out, but the first black one is here. So, if any of you guys know anything about black paint, it's one of the more meticulous colors to maintain. It tends to show things a lot more. You tend to notice defects on it. So this car is brand new from the factory. It's the first black Model Y I've seen. Sure, there's other ones, but this is the first one we've heard of. Many people getting these or seeing them. So I just wanted to show the paint condition of this car because it came in and we're going to do a full paint correction and we're going to do a full stealth wrap and some other cool things like window tint and stuff to this. But the paint, well, here, you take a look for yourself. So I'm going to start at the bumper and work my way back all through here. This is really bad DA haze. So there's actually, it's really funny to me because there's two types of machines that were used to do these patterns. So this pattern right here was created by a rotary buffer that you can see like on the hood and see on this. That is a DA haze. So DAs are really well used now, and like a lot of people use them because they don't do this. They don't create this pattern, this hologram pattern. It's like they actually do two motions where they spin and they agitate. It kind of mimics your hand at a bunch of different points on it. So it doesn't give you a hologram pattern, but when you're aggressively compounding with it, it leaves this. This is the faint scratch pattern you get. It's this DA haze here. It's actually, in my opinion, DA haze is the new rotary swirl, because it used to be super common. We'd see rotary swirls everywhere, but now I see DA haze on cars all the time. So you could literally see, and you know, that's just a sign of how improperly polished this car was. And not to pick on the guys at Tesla, because I know they're incredibly busy, and I know we just came back from the COVID thing, and I'm sure they're under a tremendous amount of pressure to get cars out. And it's not just Tesla we see in shapes like this. We had, you know, some very nice cars come in here, Rolls Royces and Ferraris, and they all have some of the similar damage. I think it's just a manufacturing standard as a whole. They paint the car, and they're okay with it. They're like, what's the problem? We painted the car. So, but this customer ended up here, and we're OCDetailing. See it really clearly on the mirror here. The thing that I would say shame on Tesla for is this. If you look at all this trim, it's all white. It's not because it got waxed. It's because whoever was creating all this DA haze up here was hitting the trim too. It wasn't taped off. And this is actually really hard to clean. It's really difficult to get this off this without damaging it. You can see some of it gets damaged by the white powder. Ooh, it's a ghost in the paint. Kind of looks like the outline of a ghost, doesn't it? You'll see tons of scratches left on the car, so I don't know why they were compounding or what they were doing, or just leaving the scratches, or they were attempting to remove the scratches and making more when they're wiping it down with a towel. Also, the spoilers on these cars are like poorly attached. Like literally, there's these weird gaps here. Okay, so we had our first black Model Y come in today, and then we had our second black Model Y come in today. So now we have two of them here. Now, I have a feeling, because I'm looking at the second one, and to be honest, it's in a lot better shape than this one is as far as paint defects goes, but it still has quite a few of really obvious paint defects. So I kind of want to show you how this one turned out. So while this car had very obvious signs of denibbing, which is where you get a little dust in the paint, a lot of big sanding marks on it, they are created by like a little 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch sanding disc. This car has tons of scratches on it. Like this actually has a lot of surface scratches on it. And somebody tried to buff them out using a DA, but all they did was haze up the paint. So let's take a look at it. If you look across the hood, you'll see these big wipe down marks. This is all swirled up and wiped down. Like that's just from, you know, that's basically rub marks from towels. Also, if you look like, you know, in the standard places that it's kind of hard to buff on, you get a lot of haze coming throughout the paint. Now, I feel like on this car, they spent a lot more time on it than they did on this one, because even from here, you could see the big DA sanding mark over there on the fender of that one versus this one. It's not quite as bad, but for a new car, I still think there's a lot of scratches on this. Like, but if you look here, there's like a big scratch right there. That one can actually feel my nail. It's really deep. Oh, here's the perfect example of a bunch of DA haze on this one. All through there, just really hazy, where someone was using a DA polisher to do that. And then on top of the trunk, there's a lot of scratches here. So the moral of the story is that black comes with scratches, and that's why both these cars are here. So we're gonna get them all fixed up. Now, let's go inside so we can start correcting that paint. We made it back inside the shop, and now that we have the car in here, I'm gonna go ahead and do some paint correction work on this thing. Right now you see Ryan behind me, he's over here. I don't know what he's doing, I actually don't wanna know. He looks like he's having fun. So I have my Roops Mark III polisher here. I have a microfiber finishing disc. And I have some Car Pro compound, so let me get started. No, That would have been a first. I literally almost just racked myself with a polisher. Years and years and years of doing this, I've gotten pretty quick. Just from experience, but I have a feeling this is going to look really, really good. And I even went over here to where the Tesla had compounded this, just to see how much of a dent we would make in the DA haze they left behind with just polishing. But I have a feeling there would be way too many scratches left over, which there are. Like versus what we did. So this is pretty much. This isn't good enough for us to film yet, but infinitely better than it was. I'll still need to go over this a few times, but for all intents and video purposes, I think you guys get the idea. So thanks for watching. I'm Joe with OCDetailing. Please subscribe for more videos.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a toxic message?